Let's talk Marcus Rashford. Time is running out for him to get out of Manchester United. Is it going to happen, Carve?
I think it will. I think Ruben Amorim...
In this week?
Yeah, I think it will. Well, before the deadline, I think he'll move. Ruben Amorim could not have been clearer. What he said last night after the game at Fulham here in London, he basically said, I'd rather have my goalkeeping coach, who's 63, on the bench than a player who's not giving his all in training. So it looks like Marcus Rashford is going to have to leave if he wants to get regular football. The question is, where's he going to go? Now, I think his number one choice is Barcelona. But there are big problems with that because Spanish football has very, very strict financial fair play rules. So it's going to be difficult for Barcelona to be able to accommodate his wages. And also, I'm not sure how regularly he'd play if he was to move to Barcelona. Because Barcelona, front three, they've got Lamine Yamal, Lewandowski, Rafinha. So would it make sense for him to move to Barcelona? I think where we are at with Marcus Rashford is his advisors are trying to find a club for him. But the big issue is his big wages. He's reported to earn more than £300,000 a week. If he's to move, obviously Manchester United would want his new club to pay nearly all of those wages. And the clubs who are interested in getting him know that the longer they wait until the deadline, the more likely it is that they're going to get a better deal. So I think this is going to go on until deadline day.
No, he's not getting out of there, is he? Come on, let's be honest.
Look,
where's he going to go?
If you look at what's happened with Marcus Rashford, on December the 17th, he does an interview with Henry Winter, who I think we're going to hear from again at 7 o'clock.
7.
And if you're doing an interview and saying you need a new challenge and the next steps in your career, the feeling would be that you've got something lined up. We're on day 27 of the transfer window now. He's still a Manchester United player. And not only is he a Manchester United player, he's not actually playing for them. The question you have to ask is whether Marcus Rashford and his camp maybe overestimated the market that was in for him when he made those quotes in that interview by saying, it's time for a new challenge for me. AC Milan were interested. They came and went. They've now signed Kyle Walker, and they can't actually sign Marcus Rashford now because of their non-EU player rule. So Walker's there, Rashford can't join. Borussia Dortmund's interest is there and has been there throughout the window, but the finances simply do not work for him. Carve's mentioned it already. He wants to go to Barcelona, but there's so many associated issues with their finances that are precluding a deal from happening for Rashford to go to Barcelona. So here we are, Rashford, 27 days into this window, still a Manchester United player and not playing for Manchester United.
I'm going to ask my question again, though. You said he's going to get out of Manchester United before deadline day. Where's he going to go? Salford?
Well, I think maybe an English club will come in for him. You would assume that Manchester United don't want him to go to another Premier League club. But as we get closer to the deadline, would it mean that Manchester United would be willing to let him move to another Premier League club? Which Premier League clubs would be interested in taking him? Look, I've got to tell you, I'm a big fan of Ruben Amorim. I like the fact that he's open and honest, his news conferences. But I'm sitting here thinking, did he say too much last night? Because we've already seen him a couple of days ago in a press conference. He said that this was the worst Manchester United side of all time. I think he regretted saying that. Last night, he comes out with a great headline saying he'd rather have his 63-year-old goalkeeping coach on the bench than someone who's not given his all in training. Does he regret saying that? Because from a business point of view, it's not ideal for Manchester United to have their manager saying that when you are trying to move a player out.
One thing that has to happen with regard to Rashford right now is clear he's not in Amorim's plans just now because he's not training properly, according to Ruben Amorim. But if come February the 3rd at 11 p.m. he's still a Manchester United player, there's going to have to be some sort of reintegration into that squad. Because if they are going long-term to decide Rashford's got to get sold, if he's not going to get a move away from Manchester United and he doesn't play for United, how much is he going to be on the market come
How do you
summer?
reintegrate a player that you said you'd rather put your 63-year-old goalkeeping coach on before him?
No.
How do you reintegrate
Because
him?
Ruben Amorim has also said, I know that's the headline that's come out of it, he goes, I would rather put my goalkeeping coach